Hey, welcome to the show. And you know, it's a great day to be in real estate. You hear me keep saying this, but we're in the heyday if you haven't figured that out. What an exciting time to be in real estate. And sit down today because guess who I have coming on? We've got a special guest and I am so honored. He was a top 50 Wall Street Journal broker. He was number one. What is that? Number two, three, four? No, I'm sorry. Number one in the state of Florida. It's Mr. Johnny Loewy. He's going to be on set in just a few minutes. We're going to be interviewing him. We're going to talk about where he's at now, what he's been doing over the last couple of years, but most importantly, we're going to talk about how he's been able to achieve his success, where he's going, and how you can take something away from that today that will help grow your real estate business. I'm so excited about it. Also, obviously, we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks this amazing event that we have coming up. It's next Thursday. We're only 8 days out. It's hard to believe. There's been so much support. It is overwhelming, the support in the real estate industry. We just signed, by the way, our third major builder. I'm going to be announcing that in a moment, and I'm so excited about it. But make sure that if you're here in the local Tampa Bay area and you're a realtor and you haven't heard or you're not going to this event yet or you haven't thought about it, hey, the time is almost up. We have literally a few tickets left, and there are going to be hundreds of realtors there, tons of swag. You'll probably have to rent a car just to take the stuff home you're going to get, but it's going to be really exciting. We'll make sure that we post a link for those tickets. But what's more exciting is today's show right now, because we're live and we're going to have Johnny Loewy, amazing broker, here on the set in just a moment. I think I'm going to get the opportunity to say, here's Johnny. Well, I don't know. But anyway, hey, stay tuned. We'll be right back with this message. We're also going to give away lots of stuff on the show today, so stick around. Hey, we're back live, and as promised, we're sitting here with Mr. Johnny Loewy. Johnny.
Hey,
here's Johnny.
I love it.
Hey, you know what? I got to tell you something, though, before we get started, is that, on a serious note, I have been looking forward to this show. I can't even tell you, like weeks and weeks ago, we always have great guests, but I don't know. I met you a few months back, and you were so dynamic, man. I was just drawn to you like a magnet, like, bam!
I love it.
So I'm excited about you being here.
Awesome. Me too, brother. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come and talk to everybody. What's up, y'all? How's everybody doing?
Is it a good day to be an agent?
Oh my gosh, this is like Florida is on sale. It is on sale. I'm telling you, this is like this feels like 2004, 2005 all over again. It's amazing.
Except for hopefully without the outcome, right?
Yeah,
without the crash. But no, you're right. I mean, I keep talking about it. We see it here in Tampa Bay and other parts of the country. We see new home construction just booming,
exploding.
And you go, how long can this last? But the forecasts say like people are, flocking to Florida.
That's right.
What a place to be for growth.
Yep.
And let's talk about, I introduced you as a top 50 Wall Street Journal broker. Wow, number one, and I didn't say number 2, 3, 4, 5, no, number 207. Number one, dude, number one in the state of Florida. Man, that's an accomplishment.
Dude, you just don't sleep.
That's
how you do it. You don't sleep.
That's how I envision you anyway. Like the first time I saw you, I'm like, yep. He doesn't sleep. I mean, I swear, I thought that.
Oh my gosh!
And I told you one short conversation we had before. I mentioned to you when I first met you a couple months ago, and at one of your events, and you got up and spoke, and you talked, and you recognized and acknowledged a whole lot of people at that event. But it only took a couple minutes, and I'm like, and I only get this opportunity. I think maybe every few years, every once in a while, I get really lucky. But I look at this guy and I go, wow. He gets it. Like that guy gets, that's the guy that I need to go like this and just kind of hang on for the ride, right?
I love it.
I mean, you're a force, man. I love it. I love it.
You.
So let's talk real quick. Let's bring everybody in the audience up to speed.
Sure.
On kind of your background. When we talked about you being number one in Florida and a top 50 broker, why don't you talk about that and then bring us up to right now?
I got into the real estate business back in 1993, and the business, as different as it was back then, I got to tell you, it really was still the same type of business. Business got done the same way back then as it does today. Now we have, of course, technology, which has changed the game quite a bit, but still the same business gets done the same way. The same way that I made deals back then are the same ways I make deals today. Obviously, social media has added to the ability for us to increase our volume. But what I can share is, with this business, it's so cool because, Dave, why do agents get into this business? We get into this business, right? Here's some of the reasons that I hear when I train nationally. Well, I got into this business because I wanted the freedom of my own schedule.
Yeah.
I didn't want a boss telling me where I had to go and what I had to do. Right? I wanted to make as much money as I wanted. I wanted to be able to work from home, and I wanted to do whatever I want whenever I wanted it. Right? Well,
yeah, I do picture you as the guy that can't be kind of leashed up.
Oh my gosh! But brother, here's the problem. The problem in this business, why realtors struggle being successful, is those same reasons. They don't have anybody telling them what to do, where to go. They're working from home. They have a freedom of a schedule. I was traveling. I was in Phoenix. And when I was in Phoenix, I talked to an agent, and the agent said to me, he says, man, Johnny, I need some help. He says, I might have to go get a full-time job. And I said, well, let me sit with you. Talk to me about what does a typical day look like for you, Joseph? What does a typical day look like? He says, well, I come in the morning. I said, okay, what time do you come in? He said, well, usually I roll in around 10, 11 o'clock. I jump on, I check my emails. He says, and then, I follow up with some clients, and then I go to lunch. And then when I get done with lunch, I follow up with some more people, and then I go and pick up my kids. And after I'm done picking up my kids, I got to feed them and make sure they do their homework. And then, then nighttime comes. I said, bro, if you just work your business like it's a full-time job, you actually will make some money. Right. So I think,
right, because they forget, by the way, at that full-time job that you don't just run home and do this or do that. Like you have accountability.
Yes, you're your own boss. I had, it's funny because in traveling around the country, what I noticed is a lot of new agents getting into this business. Mm-hmm. And they get into this business. Why do they get into this business? Where they look at it and they go, where can I make a 6- and 7-figure income and only go to school for 63 whole hours? Man, this is going to be easy, right?
Be great.
The problem is that they don't take it serious. You guys got to take this serious as your own business. Don't say to someone, I need someone to push me. Do you think someone opens up a restaurant and says, hey, I'm now the restaurant owner. I better hire some staff so they can push me? No, you're the owner. You have to push yourself. Now, of course, your broker and your peers should be motivating you and helping to motivate your situation, but you got to be able to push yourself. So for me, Dave, you know, the number one most important part of a business is to prospect for business. And I'm no different than you and everybody else that's out there in the market. What do we see with agents? Their business is up and down. Their January, great month. February, sucks.
Right.
March, great month. April, sucks. So the problem becomes is, why do we have those valleys? Why does that happen? And I think from what I've noticed, and with being in this business for 26 years, is agents don't focus on prospecting. They're waking up in their day and they're being reactive to their day. They don't have a plan together. I run into agents in my new office and I ask them, I go, hey, what are you doing to prospect today? Oh, well, I was on the phone with my cousin. Right. Cool. I'm glad you got to talk to your cousin. But you've got to start thinking, and this is not just for me, this is for everyone. No matter what your business is, do you work on prospecting on a daily basis? I tell agents, I say, you got to work on getting 2 new appointments a day. So, Dave, for me, what got me to Wall Street Journal top 50, #1 in the state, every day I'd wake up in the morning. Now, here's the thing. I would tell agents, I'd say the best time for you to be able to talk to prospects is talking to them in the evening, right? Because that's when they're home. So, but the problem is that's not the best time for me to do calls.
Right.
It's not the best time for me to prospect. By the time the evening comes, I want to chill out. I want to relax.
Yeah,
I'm not motivated
plus,
by 8 o'clock.
Well, plus now, you know, you have Netflix.
I know.
Right?
I know.
I mean, that holds a certain value.
Absolutely. So for me, I tell agents, I say, listen, the best time to prospect obviously is in the evenings, but you got to know yourself. If you know you're not going to drag your ass. Oh, can I say ass?
The FCC and FAA and FBB just took us out.
You have got to drag your ass. And you got to be able to say to yourself, listen, I got to prospect for 1 to 2 hours a day, and I got to be disciplined to do it. And for me, if I don't do it in the morning, it's not getting done, Dave. Yeah. Even with the brokerage now, if I don't prospect for agents to bring agents into my brokerage, I do it in the morning because that's the best time for me. You got to know who you are.
Yeah, and you know the funny thing is, Johnny, it's not really funny. I mean, it's just a fact. But anytime I'm around someone who's had major accomplishments, who goes to work every day and does things that are just unbelievable, that the rest of us go, wait a second, how do I do that? How do I get to be like? And you're always looking for how to do it, right?
Sure.
But and that's great. I mean, we need to prepare ourselves and train. I'm big on that. But taking action, like one thing I've noticed is that people who are extremely successful, they're just obsessive about taking the action, whether it's where they want to be or not.
That's true.
Right? Whether it's where they want to be or not. Look, not everybody dreams of getting up every morning, right, and going, hey, let me call some strangers and come across, when they pick up the phone, they know that, or at least in their mind at first, they're getting a sales call. Let me do that for fun, right?
Yeah,
it's not necessarily the fun, glamorous part of real estate.
Bring on the rejections. Oh my gosh, I can't get enough.
Right. Tell me no again. It's so warm and fuzzy inside. But here's the thing, you know, when you embrace that, and when I say embrace, it doesn't mean you have to fall in love with that. But what you fall in love with are the results.
Yes.
And getting those victories. And, you know, what we always said, and I know you have a background going way back in the car business like me.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was like, when's the best time to sell a car? Right after you've sold one, right?
That's exactly right.
So having a victory is huge. But like you said, you know, having the discipline and understanding that this is really work, you know. To have the other part. You know, it's kind of like Dave Ramsey says, work like no other so you can live like no other, you know,
Amen
that kind
to
of thing. But let's do this. Do you think, let me just start over because now I'm going back to something else. I just had a flashback of your sales meeting. You know, I recently came over to your brokerage and I said, hey, Johnny, I want to drop this off for you and whatnot. And
he did. He came to drop off tickets. And I said, well, Dave, since you're here, my sales meeting's going on. Come upstairs, say a few words. Kind of roped him into that. It's kind of...
It was awesome, man. It was a great opportunity. I connected with people,
it was
right?
Great.
It was wonderful. But what I saw there is that you've created something magical.
Thank you.
You really have. And,
Thank you.
And let's just real quick, let's bring the audience back up to speed, because we talked about you being #1 in Florida and a top 50 broker, but we didn't really share what occurred there. You actually owned most of the Exit Realties here in the Tampa Bay area.
Great company.
And yes, and you sold out right before the crash. Did you have a crystal ball, or what was going on there?
No, everybody thought, they said, oh my gosh. I said, listen, I'd like to say I was, the guru, but I just got lucky.
Yeah,
I really did. I got lucky. And at the time, it was funny because I started to launch as a national trainer, and Exit Realty Corp International had approached me and said, hey, we'd like to bring you on as a corporate trainer. We want you to not only train our agents, but we want you to train our brokers on how to build and retain successful agents into a mega brokerage, and even training regional owners who own the state regional rights to sell franchises. So it was a heck of an opportunity. So when I sold my brokerages, I was asked to have a no-compete agreement, which normally I wouldn't be okay with doing a non-compete, but I saw things going in a slightly different direction. And I said, you know what? This is a pretty good gig. I get to travel nationally. I get to train brokers, agents, regional owners. What could be more fun than that? Well, after you're on the road for like 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and you're only in your home for about 35 to 45 days a year. Yeah. What was glamorous, really kind of wore. It was tough. And it was not only tough for my wife and I personally to not have that base to be able to go back to more often, but it was tough because, Dave, we go in and we train and we coach with agents and we coach with brokers, and I spend a few weeks there and we get them charged up, and man, oh man, by the time I leave, they feel like they got the cure for cancer. They're on fire, which is awesome. But the problem is as the trainer, as the coach, I pick up, I move on to my next location. Some of those guys I'm continuously coaching on a weekly basis. But for the most part, the majority of them, they wind up doing really well, and then they fall back off. So I said to my wife, as soon as that non-compete agreement's over, I said, I think I'm going to want to open up brokerages again, but I'm going to want to do it on a much larger scale. I said, and from what I've learned, this would give me an opportunity to not only train and hone someone's skills, but if they fall off track, I can kick them in the ass and put them back on track again. Right. So it gives me an opportunity to have more influence over an agent than I would if I was just traveling.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
That's great. And if you may or may not have been able to read between the lines there a little bit, because having the pleasure of knowing you a little bit, what I have learned about you is that you are very genuine about pouring into other people. And I think that's part of what you just talked about. I know that's part of the satisfaction of being able to input and watch people grow and help be responsible for their success. I mean, it's amazing. But so
do you want to know what changed that for me?
What's that?
Back in 2008, I just went to Las Vegas. They awarded me with Wall Street Journal Top 50 Realtor in the country. Lore magazine was there. They rolled out the red carpet. They treated us like we were celebrities. It was so cool. This little short guy from New York was getting a red carpet rollout. They had to adjust the cameras a little bit lower, so they could see me. But outside of that, I won that award. It was pretty exhilarating. And in 2008, I got faced with a health scare. I had a large tumor on top of my kidney, and the doctors actually told me there was a chance I wouldn't hit my 40th birthday, and that changed my life forever. And during that 6-8 month period of what I call the questionable period of my life, and many of you guys have had a transition that have happened in your life that caused you to start reevaluating your life. Where am I at? Where am I wanting to go? Sometimes it's a job change or a layoff or something like that, and you have to do something. For me, it was a major health scare. I got to see Floyd Wickman speak. He's one of my favorite speakers. And Floyd said something, and I was going through my illness. I didn't know what the prognosis was going to be, but it wasn't a pretty picture at the time. And Floyd said to me, he said, if you were to die, scary as that sounds, he said, if you were to die, who would show up at your funeral and what would they say about you? And I want everyone should be thinking about that. Right. Every realtor. if God forbid something were to happen to you, if your client showed up at the funeral, first off, would they show up? Did you turn your clients into your friends? Because my clients are all my friends. My ex-wife used to say, do you have any friends that weren't clients or other realtors? And I went, listen, she's now my ex-wife. So anyhow,
that's funny.
Really, agents don't understand that this is not just selling houses. You're changing people's lives. You think of it this way. I ran into a client. I sold her a house 14 years ago. You know what she said to me? She called me up to list the house. And I said, what are we going to do when we sell the house? She said, we're going to take a little bit of the money. We're going to downsize the house. The kids are going to college. She reached out, she started to cry, and she hugged me, and she said, Johnny, I want to thank you. I said, for what? She said, if you wouldn't have sold us this house almost 15 years ago, she said, we wouldn't have bought, we would have still been renting, and my kids wouldn't be going to college, and if they were going to college, she said they would have had student loans that they would have been paying on for 20 years. She said, but because of the sale of this house, she said, you made it possible. She said, and I told you 15 years ago that I wasn't ready to buy. I told you I wasn't in a position to buy. She said, and you kept pushing and pushing and asking and asking. And you know, this is where I tell agents, I go, if I can, will you?
Right.
If someone says to you, I can't buy because of this reason, you need to say, hey, if I can fix that reason, would you buy? If I can fix that, if I can solve that, would you buy? And here's the thing. See, most of us think, Dave, we go, oh, we're being pushy. We're being pushy. No, you're not. You are helping someone who is embarrassed to ask for help because they think they don't qualify. And the thought of them talking about it makes them feel a little uncomfortable.
Right.
So for me, I tell agents, I say, listen, you're changing people's lives. When they give you pushback, it's not because they're telling you I don't want to own a home. Who the heck doesn't want to own a home, for crying out loud, right?
Absolutely.
So that's what I want to impress upon everyone that's out there. You can't just give out your card and say, hey, I'm a realtor. If you're ever looking, call me. That's not going to get you, well, it'll get you some business if you do enough of it. But seriously, I want you to ask people the question, what's holding you back? Why did you not own a home? If they say to you something, peel back the onion. That's your obligation. You're not in the business of selling houses. You're in the business of changing people's lives. That's what we do.
Yeah. Wow. So, you know,
I take it pretty serious.
No, you do.
I love to have fun. Don't get me wrong.
No, you do, and I love it
because
I love it because I talk about this all the time when I'm in front of agents or even to other salespeople, because I still do things with the auto salespeople and things like that. But you know, the first thing I say is, look, the number one rule for me, the best tip I could give you as a salesperson or to sell or grow your business or whatever, the very first thing is you have to be sold before you sell. And that's the deal. You are,
amen.
And you are sold, because in one of the analogies I'll use is I'll be like, okay, hey man, if Johnny, you saw a movie the other night, right? You loved it. You were telling everybody and their brother about it. You go home, you tell your wife, hey, you got to come see this. And she's like, oh, but I don't like it. No, you don't get it. No, I know you don't like that, but look, trust me, you're going to love it, right? Come with me. We do a better job of talking someone in to go see a movie than we do selling our own products.
That's exactly right.
And it's because we're sold.
Yes.
We're sold on the movie. We're sold on the steak dinner, but we're not sold on what we actually do.
Do you know, the thing I think what comes into that, Dave, on why we see this constant wall that's going up with folks is we always think of the mindset, sell everyone the way you would want to be sold. Wrong.
Exactly.
We're all different. We have all different personality types. If I sell everybody the way I want to be sold, I'm potentially missing 75% of the audience. Mm-hmm. So I want to make sure that I'm paying attention to who they are. And here's the thing. If I'm overcoming objections, I've never had anyone go, look, pal, you better stop trying to help me or else.
Right.
They don't do that. So the biggest thing is keep flicking, okay? Don't let a customer out of your sight. It's not their job to call you back. It's your job to be able to follow up with them. You know, I run my business and I teach agents nationally. I say, run your business, follow the 3 Johnny golden rules. Golden rule number 1, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You've got to be able to adjust your tonality. Why do I say that? Here's the thing.
I'm writing it down, by the way.
If I said to someone, if I took a 2-letter word, the word "oh," and I went, "Oh," that sounds like I'm excited to tell you something, right? The tonality. But if I go, "Oh," well, now you know I'm pretty pissed off. I'm aggravated, right?
Right.
Your tonality, guys, can change the message of what you're saying to a customer. Sometimes you got to control your excitement, have a little bit more sincerity behind it, soften the tone. And when you're offering to do this, I'm going to give you some more tips that you can really take to your business. But rule number 2, always set the appointment. Why? Because appointments equal money. No appointments?
No money.
No money. So here's the thing. You don't let a client off the phone without an appointment. You don't let them out of your car without an appointment. Heck, in the car industry, if we didn't sell a car, we were setting an appointment up to make sure that they were coming back in with whoever their significant other was or somebody that they had to lean on for a decision to come back in and take another test drive. If you don't get the deal, you set the follow-up appointment. It's a must.
And can I just say that, you know,
Please.
And I know that you welcome any realtors to reach out to you, but, you know, you have, you know, because sometimes when you share with an agent, hey, set the appointment, don't miss it, you got to set the appointment, they're like,
yes.
They're like, okay, but, well, you have the second part of that, which is the scripts, the knowledge, the situations that you can share with realtors.
Dave, I'll tell you
actually
what.
set the appointment.
You want to do one better than that?
Absolutely.
Tomorrow, I'm teaching a class at the office, 18101 Highwoods Preserve Parkway, Suite 110. It's right downstairs from the Tampa School of Real Estate in New Tampa. I'm teaching a class tomorrow at 2 o'clock. It's going to run from 2 to 4:30. It's on how to handle lead calls and convert them into appointments. How about that? And I'll tell you what, you don't have to join my company. I'm not going to lock the door and go, don't let them leave. Listen, if you want to come in, you want to take the class with me, come take the class. All I ask is, hey, listen, if you're there, we're going to treat you nice. We're going to be good to you. We're going to give you knowledge. Say good things about us when you're out there in the marketplace. And if we're in a multi-offer situation, maybe give me a little bit of an advantage. So that's wrong. I shouldn't say that. You should present all equally. Yes. So rule number 3, find the need, feed the need. Don't go throwing up your service on a client until you know what it is they need. Okay. Every client's different. You got to find out about them. We as realtors have a tendency to start talking right before we know anything about the client. Remember this. I learned this from the car industry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If your client is doing all the talking, they're doing all the buying. If you're doing all the talking, you're doing all the selling. Okay? So keep that in mind. Now, here's the other thing. When we talk about those 3 golden rules, not what you say, it's how you say it. Always set the appointment. Find the need, feed the need. Look at it this way when you're prospecting. Some of you guys are going to prospect. Dave, you prospect every which way till Sunday. You get the phones, you do door knocking. I'm telling you, Dave can go in the restroom and come out with a lead. Okay? This guy, I'm telling you. So, and that's what being a natural and being comfortable and confident in your craft is all about. This guy's confident in his craft. He knows what he's talking about. And I'm going to tell you, even if you don't feel like you know what you're talking about, could you fake it? I'm thinking you can. Here's what I want you to think about. Simple. Break the close down into 2 parts, okay? Break it down into 2 parts, Dave, because here's what happens. Agents get so aggressive with somebody's going to put their house on the market for sale and oh my God, let me come over and let me tell you what it's worth.
I'll do it for 4%.
Yeah, I'll do it for 4. I'll do it for 3. Oh my gosh, I'll pay you.
Just stop me when you're ready.
Yeah. So break down the close into 2 parts. Don't go for the jugular and go for the close too fast. If you do, you're going to scare people away. You see, when people hear and say, oh, Wall Street Journal, top 50 realtor, #1 in Florida, they think I'm a hard close guy. Guys, anybody who knows me out there knows I'm not a hard close guy. I'm the soft close. I'm the close that when you walk away, you had to think about it and go, I think I just bought a house today. Gee, that was kind of really easy. I didn't expect it to go that way.
Exactly.
That's how it should go.
Yeah, and the funny thing, Johnny, I know we're a little bit close on time, but I can't help but, you know, when you get to talking about these sales things, it just gets me fired up.
Awesome. I love it.
But what you said is, you know, there's there's this kind of underlying cultural movement in that it's bad to sell, push, this, that, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But a true salesperson, and this is a definition I adopted many years ago, but is someone that can lead another person to a weighted decision in their favor. Whose favor? Their favor, not mine, right? But it's so natural. There is an art of selling.
Yes.
And you can take someone that has no intention or either is just thinking about it or whatever the case may be and actually pick them up. It's like an Uber ride. You know, you pick them up, you meet them, you do all the right things, and when you get to this point, they have nothing to do except for come to the logical conclusion that I want this.
It's setting it up in the beginning.
Yeah.
If you set it up the right way, you're not going to get the rebuttals or the objections. Here's the thing. Break the close down 2 parts. There's a front end close. Can you get the client in front of you, or can you get in front of the client? If it's a buyer, could you get them into the office? If it's a seller, could you get inside their home? The second part of the close, once you're in front of them, the back end close is, can you get the signature? So I always ask agents, I say, what's more important, the front end close, getting in the door, or the back end close, getting the signature? Everybody goes, the signature. Going for the jugular. I tell everybody, I go, relax, chill out, okay? Have a Coke and a smile, okay? But what you want to focus on is getting in front of the client first. The rest will happen naturally. And I'm going to tell you, it's about selling you. You might think, everybody says, Johnny, I need your listing presentation so I can become a top listing agent. I want to be #1 in my state too. Well, listen, it's not just about the presentation that you deliver. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. They're not buying your presentation.
Right.
They're buying you.
Right.
It's a likability contest. So what I do is Dave, I teach agents. I say, listen, you got to get the customer to be your friend before you show them anything. They got to be sold on you before you show them any of the marketing.
1,000,000%.
Oh my gosh.
I don't, this is just something personally I do, but when I go to a listing presentation, like, I don't even want to talk about the listing for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like anything I have with me, it's out in the car. I'm going in, man. I'm gonna find out what's going on with you, what you're trying to accomplish. All those things. But anyway, we won't get into that. Well, it's a whole nother show. But I love it, man. You know what? We got to give away a couple things. We're running out of time.
Do you know what I'm going to do, Dave?
Go ahead.
At the Game On Realtor Conference,
what are you going to do?
You get in the room because I'm going to give you some tips of how to secure that listing before you even show your marketing presentation. I'm also going to show you how to get your buyer hooked in, get your hooks in them so they don't leave you. Everybody says, do you do buyer brokerage agreements? I go, well, sometimes, but if you know how to really handle your client, you may not need it. Anyway, so I apologize.
Yeah. No. I'm glad that you brought that up because if you're just tuning in or you didn't catch the opener, Johnny is going to keynote our event next Thursday, January 2018 for the Game On. We're going to give away a few tickets and... but before we give these away, real quick, don't you have something special going on tomorrow?
Oh my gosh!
Come on, just let's share it with the audience.
We actually,
I can't wait.
Yeah, well, tomorrow actually, well, I know what you're thinking.
Yes,
it's been postponed.
Oh, we rescheduled that.
We rescheduled it. Yep.
So we have the class tomorrow that our entire audience here in the Tampa Bay area is invited to.
Yes. Which
is at your Line Right Realty, and you're going to be talking about again real quick.
We're actually going to be showing agents how to handle lead calls and convert them into appointments. So that's a crucial part of our business. And remember, the likelihood that they're going to buy a house that they called you on is slim to none, okay? Get the appointment. They're calling you on a product. Can you convert it into an appointment? And don't say to someone, well, let me go ahead and research the house that you're calling on, and we'll call you back. They won't be there when you call them back.
That's awesome. Okay, so let's do this. Let's give away a couple of tickets for this Game On event. And it's funny because these tickets, it's not Under Contract Live. Actually, that's giving you the tickets today. It's someone else. It's a partner that's going to help us at the Game On event. It's an amazing company. I know that you do business with them. Awesome company. And you're sold out on them as well. So I'll let you maybe just say a quick word about Land Voice.
Hoorah! I love this company. Oh my gosh.
You know what? And I kind of set them up too because they're doing a big thing. They're flying in from Utah. They're coming all the way to Tampa because they heard about this event, wanted to take place or take a part in it.
Yep.
They knew Johnny was going to be there. That was kind of my in. I'm going to confess. But the thing is that the Land Voice is actually going to share with the audience only a couple of minutes right before you speak.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
They're like, I want to get close to Johnny. I want to get close to Johnny. I'm like, hey, we all want to get close to Johnny, right? He's the main event. He's the main attraction. So why don't we do this? Let's give away a couple of tickets.
I love it.
From Land Voice. And is there anything you want to say about Land Voice real quick?
Yeah, just to give you guys a quick heads up, I've worked with Land Voice for 10 plus years. They're a phenomenal company. They actually brought me into South Beach. I got to speak at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel doing a luxury home seminar. So these guys have worked with me for a long time. These guys provide you with your leads, your for sale by owner leads, your expired withdrawn leads, pre-foreclosures. They do so much to make our lives easier as an agent. So I want you guys, go to landvoice.com. Okay, go to landvoice.com, pick up the phone, call these guys because here's a deal I can hook you guys up with. They will go ahead and let you try out a whole suite of services for $30 for 30 days. No contract, no nothing. $30 for 30 days. You try out FSBOs, expired, withdrawns, pre-foreclosures, and it's an awesome opportunity. To be honest with you, I mean, I almost don't want to tell everybody about it because then they're going to be competing with the agents in my office. But
I know.
No, I'm just playing. I was just playing. Listen. Y'all need to have it. It's a great service. I think if you don't have it, you're missing the boat.
Yeah, I think so too. And the funny thing is what you just mentioned. It's like doing this show. It's like you wind up giving out all of your little secrets and all this other stuff. But you know what?
God has blessed me, my brother. I am here, no cancer. I'm healthy. I'm happy. God has truly blessed me. So
yes. And
thank you.
And I can't help but think, there's no shortage of success. Like you're
just in height.
There's so much opportunity out there that if we all help one another, the world would be a better place, and we'd all make more sales anyway.
Pay it forward.
So we're going to give away 2 tickets, and how you win these tickets today over the next 24, because we do have people, in fairness, that couldn't watch at 3 o'clock, are going to watch tomorrow night or whatever the case may be. Over the next 48 hours.
Dave's going to have you do the chicken dance on camera, and whoever has the greatest video wins the tickets.
Exactly. Well, a lot like that, but different. Here's the deal. Here's what we're going to do, because I want to help out Land Voice as well, because not only they're not just investing to make a sale, but they're investing in us. Realtors and real estate business is their playing ground, right? So we want to help them because they're helping us. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to give away 2 tickets. Anyone in the next 48 hours, you'll get your name in the hat. If you copy and paste the Land Voice website, go to landvoice.com and then tag it in our video, no matter what group or venue you're seeing it in. We're going to post this on Johnny's page too. Go ahead and put Land Voice's copy and paste their website, and we're going to give those tickets away. Whoever does that, if there's multiple people, which I'm sure there will be, we'll have a drawing. We'll notify you right away. If you're in the Tampa Bay area, it's next Thursday from 10 to 1. It is absolutely sick what's going to take place in 3 hours. This is going to set the stage for what a real estate event should be like in Tampa Bay.
Brother, do you know what we did? This is kind of funny. I opened up the doors of my new company, Align Right Realty, on September 1st. And we've got almost 120 agents in our new Tampa office and our South Tampa office in about 4.5 months. So we're killing it. We love what David's doing so much. We actually rented, along with some of our sponsors and affiliates, we rented 2 party buses. I got some sponsors on board, Union Mortgage, Flagship Title, great companies. They went ahead and bought and sponsored 2 party buses. So we have almost 50 agents going from our office in New Tampa, getting a limo ride to and from. And we got them all shirts that say Align Right Realty, and And man, we're gonna make sure we make a huge presence there. So
I am so excited. I am so excited. Not only, I mean, for everything you've done, I can't thank you enough. By the way,
dude, I love you, man.
And here's what I will say right
now. Get these guys selling new home construction. It's so cool. There's so much commission to be made.
Yeah, and we're gonna have 3 incredible, amazing builders, and we'll talk about that more as each day leading up. But I shared with Johnny just a few minutes ago, largest home builder in America, D.R. Horton. They're extremely realtor friendly. They're going to be there.
They're awesome.
And we're going to be talking with them specifically. Johnny, here's the cool thing is that we're going to do a builder panel and we're going to do it as a show. But the really neat thing to me is that what's going to come out of that builder panel is this. You're going to have realtors in the audience that not only get to ask them questions directly, but the cool thing is their main message is, hey, Mr. Realtor, here's what you can do in 2018 to make money with us, and here's what we'll do to support that for you. And we're going to provide you with this opportunity, this opportunity, this opportunity. And it's not just about, oh, we have a new neighborhood over here. No, it goes way beyond that. You've got to come to this event to hear what's going on and what builders are going to do. But we've got D.R. Horton. We've got Cardell Homes, an upscale, amazing builder that we're so excited to have on board. And then we've got Minto USA with some of the most unique communities in Florida. They have one called One Particular Harbor right here in Bradenton. All of their consultants are going to be there. They're going to be on the builder panel. It is going to be off the chain. I could go on forever talking about it, but we'll post the link where you can get your tickets after the show.
And wait till you see what some of these builders are paying for commissions and bonuses.
Yeah. Can you say double digits? Double digits commissions. And I'm not talking about the dollars. I'm talking about the percentages. That is incredible.
Double-digit commissions?
Double-digit commissions is sick.
My gosh, man.
So real quick, we have one last thing to do. We're way over time, but I want to announce Realtor of the Week. Each week, Johnny, we look around and how you qualify as Realtor of the Week is we really want to see people that are out there not only, pounding the pavement, if you will, actually doing real estate.
Amen.
But getting our attention at the same time, right?
I love it.
And I have a very special person. You didn't know this ahead of time, but she happens to be one of your agents. And that's not why I chose her. But how cool is that?
That's really cool. Who the hell is it?
So, Realtor of the Week. Let's put her up on the screen. Realtor of the Week. Did a drum roll? Is Fanny Horn.
Oh my gosh. Not only, I got to tell you, I have been Fanny Horn's coach. She was at Coldwell Banker when she hired me as her coach almost 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I was her coach when she moved over to Remax. And then when I was opening up my brokerage, she said to me, she goes, if I come over to your brokerage, do I get free coaching or do I have to still pay for coaching? I said, no, girl, you get the coaching.
Right.
This lady is not only a rock star realtor. David, what really sets her apart, she literally does not let a client out of her sight. No one slips through her fingers.
Right.
She believes that you have to touch a client 6 to 7 times. I mean, not in a way that's going to get you arrested, but, take one for the team if it's an expensive home. Okay, I'm just kidding.
Hashtag me too.
Yeah. But she's also one of our mentors. One of the things that we did in our brokerage, traveling around the country, a lot of brokerages hire new agents, and they think the sales manager is enough to be able to coach and train those new agents, but really there needs to be another level.
Yes.
So I believe in a full mentoring department. So Fanny is actually one of my mentors. She actually was the #1 mentor, top mentor. There are 4 of them in our office. She was #1 for the last 3 months. She's amazing. Pushes her agents, does weekly team meetings, goes on appointments with our agents. We are actually honing Fanny's skills because we're opening up an office in Riverview in the spring, and we're actually going to put Fanny in charge of that office.
Wow,
so bravo, Miss Fanny.
Congratulations, Fanny Horn. I've had very few interactions with her, but when I have, it has been amazing. She's
awesome.
She's contagious. She's always
she wears the hat. She sets herself apart.
That's her branding. I mean, it's amazing. Yeah, the hat is cool.
It's pretty cool.
So that's it, Johnny. I mean, we've got to wrap this up. We went way over, and I could just stay here and
I get that a lot every time I go on a show.
We could do like a Jerry Lewis thing, like a Jerry Lewis telethon, where we just go for like 72 hours, and at the end we're like,
dude, let's do it.
All right.
should actually do a fundraiser telethon. I think that'd be fun. We should think about doing something like that.
I love that idea. I love that idea. And by the way, we're committing right now. I committed earlier to Johnny. Johnny and I are going to do some things in the future together, some projects, and we can't wait to tell you more about them as they develop.
It's going to be awesome. The only thing is, Dave, you're going to have to wear pants if I do a show with you again. I'm just telling you. It's a little awkward. You don't even know.
You know, the studio isn't my home, so it's so easy to slide in here in my underwear and just go from the top up. And if you've watched our opener, you'll know it's true.
Hey, I'm just happy you had a box for me to stand on, or because he sat me down in the chair, and literally I was like face height with the tabletop. I was like, Dave, listen, if you don't have a higher seat, we can't do the show. So anyway, guys, I'm so happy to be here. Dave, this guy is amazing. If you get an opportunity to see this man speak, see him speak.
Thank you, Johnny. It was my honor and my pleasure. So, do you like paperwork, man? Do you like paperwork? Are you a paperwork guy?
You're kidding me, right?
Like, here, just take that, please. And this is how I feel about paperwork. I don't know about you, but hey, we're out. We'll see you next week on Under Contract Live. # boom. Go ahead.
Yeah! God bless you guys!
Thanks for tuning in to Under Contract Live. We'll see you next week in our brand new studio. # boom.